Before the Kusama crowdloans commenced, I made a YouTube Shorts video telling you guys in order 1 through 4 which crowdloan projects you must have. We are exactly 1 week into the Kusama crowdloan auction, and our predictions are spot on 1 through 4, exactly how we thought it was going to pan out. Let me tell you, you can't find this value anywhere else on YouTube. So how does TCL seems to deliver this time and time and time again? How does TCL always has tomorrow's newspapers today? Well, in this video, I'm gonna break down how I was able to predict the crowdloan in order. So without further ado, y'all know the drill by now. Let's go bank that coin. Woo! It's the crypto lifestyle, baby. Welcome back to another video. If this is your first time here, my name is Francis, and on this channel we emphasize the importance of crypto mass adoption, decentralization, and other Bitcoin related stuff that could bank us coin. So if you want to learn more, do that by subscribing and hit that bell notification button so you don't miss anything. Well, here we are, ladies and gentlemen. We are at polkadot.js.org/apps. And over here, it's going to show us all of the projects that are trying to secure a Pararchain slot on the Kusama network, man. And man, let me tell you, we've just did it again. For those who's been following the channel, you guys know we do this on a regular basis, okay? And here we go once again. So I'm going to explain what's on the left, what's on the right, so you could, you know, just monitor it for yourself and see the numbers are indeed what we exactly predicted. You know, it's not that we predicted 1 or 2, it's 1 to 4. This is equivalent to people who gamble on horses, right? There's something called a trifecta. If they could choose horse number 1, 2, and 3 in order, we just did a quadfecta. We predicted 4 in order. And let's start with number 1. So we got Karura here at number 1, as you can see on the left. And right here is the amount of the Kusamas they raised. And there's also this like percentage mark that tells you the amount that they have collected overall. So right here you see 401 plus thousand Kusamas, or 946,000 Kusamas they have collected, okay? So they are by far like 10 miles ahead of everybody else. They're 10 miles ahead of the second project who collected the second most amount of Kusamas. So they got 26% roughly and over 401,000 Kusamas, right? That was my number 1 pick. Number 2 pick was right here, Moonriver, who has about 92,000, just over 92,000 Kusamas, or 9.2% of the Kusamas collected, okay? That is indeed number 2. And my third overall pick was Shiden, who has collected 75,000 Kusamas, or 7.57%. And my last pick, number 4, was Bifrost. And as you can see right here, Bifrost has collected over 13,000 Kusamas, or 1.3%, which actually gives them 4th place. And just behind them is Acala network, or Fala. All right, guys, and there you go. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. Tick tack toe. Boom bam, thank you, madam. Right? That's how we did that. So you know, I need to point this out as well. So as you can see here, this is my YouTube channel. This is the video I made. Top 4 Kusama crowdloan projects your ass must have, like I said in that video. My top 4 Kusama crowdloan projects your ass should get in order. Number 4, Bifrost. Number 3, Shiden. Number 2, To the Moonriver. Last but not least, number 1 is Karura. This was published well before even 1 Kusama was submitted, right? The announcement came that day when they were opening up for the first crowdloan, which was Shiden and Acala, and then this is where I made my video thereafter. So what I'm getting to is, I didn't have this information beforehand. I wasn't able to see the amount of Kusamas coming in because it wasn't available, right? So yeah, we predicted this well beforehand. I'm going to show you guys something else here. As you can see, June 8th, 2021. And then my video showing you guys how to get 15% more Karuras, which a lot of you guys took advantage of, came out that same day, later on, June 8th, because that's when they announced that it's live and they're accepting Kusamas, all right? And you could just take a look back here. This prediction video came out before the announcement, as you can see in order. Well, so this video would have been after that, right? And if we come over here, again, on the official Acala Network YouTube channel, this was the live stream they conducted once the announcement came on and it was official, as you can see, which is June 8th. So I'm just trying to show you guys, you know, what's good, right? So there you go, man. Now, how was I able to do this? Okay. Now, again, for those who've been following me, you know, we pay very close attention to Polkadot projects. We do a lot of live stream interviews with up and coming projects, Web3 grant projects, Substrate Builders Program projects, all launching on the Polkadot or powered by Polkadot. Okay. And yeah, we sat down with Sota Watanabe, who is the CEO of Plasm Network. And I asked him in that interview, I said, hey, look, you know, what does it really take to become a parachain? Is it the amount of, you know, in this case, Kusama's collected or Polkadot's collected, or is it development? He told me it's a mixture of both. And I also backtracked that with Jaden from Konami. We sat down with him in a live stream interview, and he also expressed the same thing, that how it's a combination of both development, progress, right, of the project, and also the amount of Kusama's collected. So basically, we do have about 36 days and 16 hours until this ends. These aren't official, but if the crowdloan was to end today, these 4 picks would get it, right? I believe there's 11 or 12 initial parachains that will be announced, and if it was to end today, those 4 will get it. And we can expect more projects to roll out maybe within the next week or 2, and it'll get a little bit more competitive. But as it stands right now, our picks are bang on. So with those 2 things in mind, if it takes the amount of Kusama's collected and also development, well, let's gauge this. So let's start off with Karura, right? Now, Acala, Karura, they're all part of, you know, the same umbrella. Now, why did I think this was going to be number 1? Well, there is a lot of attention here, right? They have this prestigious reputation within the ecosystem. But first of all, if we come over here, we're going to see this. The first successful cross-chain message passing XCMP transaction on Polkadot testnet. Going back to what we were told in order to get this, yes, it has to do with the amount of Kusama's collected, but also the development progress, right? Or milestones. And this is a huge milestone. This involves Plasm Network and Acala, who are the first to connect to the XCMP transaction on Polkadot's testnet Rococo. That's a major, major big deal. They were the first to do that. That's a major milestone, right? Now, when we look at their Telegram chats, we're going to see that they got about 24,000 people in here. When I measure their Telegram chat with their development milestones, it was a no-brainer to me. I just knew right off the bat they were going to, you know, just steal it. They were going to get that number 1 slot. It's not official, but, you know, again, you know, it's in the making, and it looks like they're going to get that for sure. They're just like, they collect that much more Kusamas than the second project, so I don't see how they're going to lose this. So we could say they're going to get that for sure, man. All right. Now, also, if we go to my number 2 pick, this was pretty hard for me to decide, but when the dust settled, it came down to Moonbeam. It was between Shiden or Moonbeam, or Shiden or Moonriver, rather, or Moonbeam and Plasm Network. And I'm going to tell you guys what I mean. So what is Moonbeam and how were they able to at least be right now in second place? Well, when we scroll down over here, it's a fully Ethereum compatible environment on Polkadot. So what does that mean? A lot of these shills on YouTube want to say that how Polkadot is an Ethereum killer, it's a this killer, a that killer, all this BS. But that couldn't be further from the truth, because as we come down here, you know, they're actually allowing projects who are, you know, ERC20 based, or, you know, that are, you know, Ethereum smart contract based or Ethereum network based, are able to bridge into the Polkadot network. And that's a big deal. Why? Because when you could remove the limitations, the barriers, and the sky's the limit, and you're, you know, opening borders, so to speak, for cross-chain networks to be compatible to Polkadot, that's a lot of volume, that's a lot of traffic, and that's what brings value, okay? Traffic is value when it comes to software. Traffic is value when it comes to, you know, these sort of platforms and projects, right? Because that's what's going to thrive the ecosystem. And look at the value that they're providing, right? All of these projects here are ERC20 based. However, since Moonbeam is acting like a bridge that makes it compatible, they could easily be used in the Polkadot ecosystem. And we are all familiar with pools and some other projects here as well. And this is what really put me on to Moonbeam, right? We knew of Moonbeam a year ago, last year, July, right? So for that reason, along with their Telegram, if we go to their Telegram has 14,000 people, you know, not too much, not too little, right? So we combine their Telegram along with all of this, all of these ERC20 projects that are able to actually be compatible in the Polkadot ecosystem. I had to choose them over Shiden, all right? So there we go. That's why I choose number 2, right? It's a little bit of fundamentals and I guess you could say TA slightly. I'm not really big on tea. I'm a fundamental kind of guy. So let's carry on over to Shiden or the Plasm Network now. So this one here, again, man, this was pretty obvious to me. Why? Because as I showed you over here, this is not only unique to Acala, this is Plasm Network successfully became the first Polkadot testnet parachain, right? This was published by Soda himself on August 21st, 2020, around the time I actually interviewed him, and I knew that was a big deal, right? It was actually Plasm Network and Acala were the first to do this. And that's a big deal, right? To be the first to connect to the testnet, along with this here as well, to also be able to successfully cross-chain message in the XCMP with Acala, as you can see here, Plasm Network and Acala. So that shows that their milestones in terms of developing is there and it's noticed. Gavin Wood actually tweeted about that when the news was announced, so I knew it caught his attention, and anything that catches his attention is a good thing. So we couple that along with their Telegram chat that has 15,409 people. I thought it was good enough to put them in third and not second. And this is the problem. It's not really that much of a problem, but in comparison to why I put Moonriver over Shiden in the slot 2 and not slot 3 is because for some weird reason, with all of those proud milestones they achieved in developing, for some reason, the public, right, isn't that aware of the Plasm Network. And that I had to take into consideration, because if you have awareness, if people know of your project, that means you're going to most likely get support in the format of Kusama's, right? So in this instance, Moonbeam had a little bit more, or Moonriver rather, had a little bit more public awareness, so they received more Kusama's, at least as of now, and that's why I went with Shiden third and not second, due to that fact, right? The awareness. And lastly, fourth, we have Bifrost, ladies and gentlemen. So right here, Bifrost is a parachain designed for staking liquidity. Look, it came down to these two things. It's very simple. This one here was more fundamentally, but you know, it was really a gut feeling as well. Sometimes you gotta go with your gut as well, right? Bifrost was one of the first movers when it comes to this whole Polkadot ecosystem. They got the Web3 grants as well, so that shows that they have their development milestones and progress in check. But their Telegram is ridiculously big, boasting a Telegram chat of over 62,000 people. Okay, that is going to go a long way. Now look, it goes back to my line of thinking with Plasm Network. They're not that much known either, Bifrost, right? I mean, they are, but not as much as the previous three, and a little bit more than the ones that we didn't choose. And for those reasons, their Web3 grants, their large Telegram chat, we figured they could have easily fallen in the top 5. I pushed it to top 4. Okay, guys? So there you go. That's why I was able to pretty much pick these very accurately, having tomorrow's newspapers today. It's just believing in your findings, believing in your research, and going by your own gut, and not really listening to what the noise is being said out there. You put your head down, you do your research, and you believe in your findings, and you go with it with conviction. All right, guys? So, hey, man, maybe someday you guys would also have tomorrow's newspapers today. All right, guys? So that's all I have for y'all. Look, this isn't final. There still is about 36 days to go. But, hey, man, so far, so good, right? And I can't wait to see how this pans out. So, you know what? There ain't really much left to say other than, till the next video, you're on your own, man. Later.